Here is the stock market analysis. We're going to look at the SPY. We're going to do the cycle and momentum analysis, and we're going to try to target the low in price and time, something that we do in our analysis that most of the other analysts out there don't do. Most analysts are looking only as price targets, but our analysis gives us time targets also, and I think you're going to find it very interesting. So here is a look at the S&P 500 SPY on the daily chart. And this is cycle analysis. And you can see on there are actually 3 different cycles that we're looking at here on the bottom. And these are all coming down into a low timing right over here. Now, that had us believing that this panic low right over there would be tested out into this time frame right here. Market is very resilient under these conditions, and it might not get quite that low in this downward move. These cycle troughs time out right in here to a period of early March to late April right there. And the timing expected between these 2 lines right there time-wise, and that gives you a low sometime around late next week, sometime around March 10th, March 11th, something like that. And then this one way out into late April. So we would expect that we would see a downside market right in here into the next week. If it does turn out to be stronger, it will shift this a little bit and change the timing or so, and then this will have been the key low. So we'll be watching for that. And I have said in our videos to our members this week that it really looks like there are people trying to buy the market right now. It has been very resilient in the face of this news. So the greatest expectation is that this would then come down for sometime into next week. Does not have to get quite that low, and then another rally period out over here with a lot of risk as these come down into the late April period. So we would believe that any rally in the upside would be fake. These resistances right over here that you see are around 437 up to about 446, and this rally out over here could certainly get out into those levels again before hitting a period where there is much more downside risk. So we'd be looking for quite a fluctuating market in here, decline, rally, and then decline with this low, a high probability of being taken out way back over, way out over into late April. That's about 5 weeks from now. When I switch this over to the daily chart, now before I do that, I want to make an important point that momentum in here is negative, and this is the slim ribbon, which is available to everybody for free to use on the Thinkorswim platform. You have to download it from our site if you are a Thinkorswim member. If you're not a Thinkorswim member, it is our preferred broker, so we encourage you to open up an account through our website at the front page. See this downward arrow on the slim ribbon PO? This is a warning of a downward resumption in momentum. You could see you got those right over here, and then of course you had that big decline. When momentum signals are strong, when this is green, then you get advances. So right now this is a period where momentum is negative. Now when you have multiple downward momentum conditions, then you get into a period where there could be a big decline. Here you could see the momentum on the reversal scout here on the weekly chart is pointing to the downside. That's that low I showed you on the daily chart. That was with a trough of about 14.4% on the downside, but it's a low probability that that is the final trough. We're looking for, now these are the minor cycles that I just showed you right in here. This is the really big cycle right there, the intermediate cycles right in here that you can see the cycle rhythms, and then the smaller ones inside in here from the daily chart, and now we're in this period where it's turning down. So either it comes down right in here into this March period that I'm talking about in the next week or week and a half, or this one way out over here into late April. But this is still a period of a lot of risk here in the market, and we would expect that upside attempts will come, but they will be met with selling, and you will see downside movement. Now, if you look a little further out, you can see these cycles out over here into May, into June, July. This is really a period where we think that the market will try to do better. And we call that period of upside rebound a false rebound. Now, in past bear markets, and we think this is a bear market, this could come all the way up 2/3 or 3/4 of the way up to the high. Some markets even test the highs, with some indexes not getting there, and you get a divergence when that happens. Certainly doubt that that's going to happen based on valuations, but there is a period out over here in the spring and early summer when the market should look better. That means that in some panic selling in here when it comes, that will likely be an opportunity for intermediate term holders to be a buyer, maybe even investors, but you're going to have to gut out some maybe long-term really negative periods. If you watch the beginning of the show, I talk about a long period of a lot of risk in the stock market ahead. It could be years. So I caution investors at that point and earlier in the show that it may not be the wisest thing, and maybe the wisest thing is to raise cash out into this period over here. So right now, again, we're looking at momentum being negative right over here on the weekly chart. The time frame still pointing to the downside, potential for hitting this 38%, which would be a 20% decline in the stock market. And then on the daily chart, momentum negative. Also, when I show you the side-by-side in here, you will see that what that gives you is negative momentum here on the weekly, negative momentum here on the daily, and periods when you get that are the highest downside risk. The slim ribbon PO on the bottom giving you that negative signal, and all of this is suggestive that the highest risks are still to the downside for the stock market. I really want to encourage you to go to our website and make sure that you take advantage of our popular services preview. That is, you'll be able to see what we bring in huge amount of content. And if you scrolled forward and you haven't seen that, go back, because we're going to give you 2 weeks of an amazing amount of content with no credit card necessary and no cost. So please do become a popular services preview member. You can just go to the front of the website and click on that and sign up, and you'll get 2 weeks of a huge amount of our information at no cost. If you're on YouTube, please do subscribe to this channel and click the bell to get notification, and do give us a thumbs up because you love this video and love our work, and that does help us. And watch the member videos in the playlists also. On Twitter, follow us at askSlim, and for questions on anything I've shown you in here and about our huge offerings of education and analysis, write Matt at askSlim.com.